A child is being bullied in this world every 7 seconds.
It does affect a lot of children in horrible ways.
2 Works for You is taking a stand against bullying. In a half-hour special, Russ McCaskey examines the growing bully problem in Green Country, the long-term effects, and how you can help stop it. Plus, experts will be on call to answer your questions and give immediate help.
Join me as we take a stand against bullying.
It needs to be stopped.
Thursday night at 8 on 2 Works for You, presented by Bob Hurley Ford. Every 7 seconds, a child is bullied. Our sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, and friends. Now, 2 Works for You against bullying. A special program presented by Bob Hurley Ford.
Bullying. It's a growing problem, and Green Country's no exception. There are thousands of reports of bullying in Tulsa each year alone, and there have been cases of kids taking their own lives. The fall semester of school is wrapping up, and as you talk with your kids about school and grades, you may also want to talk about bullying. Tonight, we're taking some time to look at the issue. We examine how big the problem is. We take a look at the effects of bullying, what's being done to prevent it. We'll also take a look at laws that may come into play. Also, we have a phone bank up and running with experts who can answer questions and give immediate help to those in need. That number, 918-748-1432. We begin tonight with bullying in the heartland. The family of 11-year-old Ty Smalley says bullying cost them their son's life. 2 News anchor Brianne Palmerini tells us their story.
My boy's been gone for 929 days now.
Ty Smalley was just 11 years old on that fateful day in May of 2010, the day he took his own life.
He would have been 14 now. He's not going to get his driver's license. He doesn't go to the prom. Not going to get married.
Ty's father, Kirk, says before it happened, Ty had been bullied for several years by a group of boys at his school in Perkins.
You know, he'd get called names, he'd get pushed around, he got shoved into lockers, crammed into trash cans.
That day, Ty fought back.
Ty just had enough. He retaliated, and you know, it's always the second guy that gets caught.
Ty was suspended and sent home from school early, and that's when it happened.
He got a gun out of our closet. It was one that I'd taught him to shoot.
Ty's mother came home that day to find her son dead, and she called Kirk.
She was just screaming. I couldn't understand anything that she was trying to say. She just screamed, and she managed to say, "He's dead." He shot himself.
Kirk says his family's life will never be the same, and he's made it his mission to change others.
I'm here to tell you about what happened to Ty, and I'm hoping that by doing that, you guys can help me make sure that this doesn't ever happen again to another kid.
Smalley tours schools all over the globe, spreading the anti-bullying message. 2 News went along on his visit to Milburn schools in southeast Oklahoma. Smalley gets emotional during each school visit. He says during each presentation, he relives the day his son died. But he says it's worth it if his message is heard.
So I know that it makes a difference. I know it's impactful to him.
He says since he started his Stand Up for the Silent campaign, he's received numerous messages and emails.
I've got a folder in one of my emails accounts that's labeled suicide messages. Kids that have said, "I was going to kill myself until I heard you speak." And it's full of thousands of those messages. We get messages from bullies that say, "I never realized that what I was doing could cause this."
Students at Milburn say the program is something they will not soon forget.
He's an amazing person to stand up and go to all these places and talk, and he has such a passion for it, and you can feel the passion when he speaks, and I just loved it.
In our world, every 7 seconds, a child is being bullied.
You can even see it on their faces while they watch the presentation.
I was not expecting such an emotional story. I knew it was emotional, but I cried through the entire thing.
You believe that you are somebody?
Yeah! This is a mission Kirk Smalley takes seriously, a promise to his son he intends to keep.
I promised him that I was going to stop bullying in this world. And I don't break promises to my kid.
A promise born out of Ty's final action. His parents will never forget what drove Ty to take his own life, and Kirk Smalley hopes his work will make a difference so other kids won't suffer the same fate. Brianne Palmerini, 2 News, works for you.
When it comes to bullies, teenage girls may top the list of offenders. They're doing it some through social media, but at least one judge says beware. Social media leaves an electronic trail of proof. 2 News reporter Sarah Goldenberg has more on bullying in schools and how some are challenging their bullies in a whole new way.
This is an example of what extreme bullying can lead to.
I got a really long white one. That was a bad one. It was really, really deep.
Meet Jana Pike. She's a 7th grader at Hale Junior High School in Tulsa. At just 14 years old, she says she's already tried to kill herself a number of times.
All these thoughts that people are saying about me, everything they're saying, I'm nothing but, I'm just useless, I'm ugly, I'm stupid. No one would care if I was here or not.
Jana says she has been bullied for the past year. She says she started cutting herself to get through the pain.
They're kind of like battle scars. That's as best as I can put it.
After counseling and the help of friends and family, she's back at school, but she says the bullies haven't gone away.
And it does get hard when it's basically the whole school. But I mean, I can't let it get to me.
Jana thinks the worst bullies are teenage girls, known for starting rumors more than physically beating up their victims.
Teenage girls are worse than wild animals. Wild animals can maul you and rip you apart, but teenage girls do that to the inside of you.
As Jana continues her struggle against bullying in Tulsa, a judge here in Bartlesville has noticed an interesting trend. He's seeing more and more teenage girls take their fight against bullying to court. In Washington County, Associate District Judge Russell Vaclaw says parents are getting involved and filing protective orders against their child's bully.
In schools, it's called bullying. In the court of law, it's harassment.
He says social media has changed the game. Bullies are leaving behind trails of evidence online.
The statements that were being made, they were hostile, they were vulgar, they were profane, and I was shocked to see some of the things that I was seeing just on Facebook alone.
Even if the posts were deleted, some victims had already saved them, printed them out, and taken them to court.
I don't think the kids knew that what they were doing had legal consequences. I don't think they realized that, one, they may be committing a crime, and two, they may be committing conduct that is worthy of a protective order.
So Judge Vaclaw is working on changing that in Bartlesville. He speaks to students at high schools and middle schools, teaching them that bullying can be a crime.
And I don't think they realized that, and when they were told that, there were a lot of people shuffling in their seats, and I hope from embarrassment and from shame.
If a bully violates a protective order, they could face a misdemeanor charge and even jail time. Vaclaw says his school visits seem to be working.
It is still going to happen, but it is actually decreased here in Washington County just from going to the schools and explaining what the consequences of their actions are.
Back in Tulsa, Jana says she isn't considering getting a protective order against her bullies yet, but she thinks it's a good idea for some students.
I mean, it can break somebody down to the point of wanting to commit suicide, like me. It can get somebody in the position where they're broken and they can't be fixed. I'd give my life for her.
Her sister Jessica is even taking action.
She went into the bathroom, she took out anything sharp, she took all the medicine and gave it to Grandma. So I can't hurt myself now.
Jessica is trying to show Jana she's hurting more than herself.
When you cry, I cry. You know that.
2 sisters working hard to get through each day and rise above the bullies.
No matter what, you have to find something to keep you going, because, I mean, you can't give up.
Sarah Goldenberg, 2 News, works for you.